Welcome back. So today is lesson is on for such a time as this. So what are you here for? Have you ever asked yourself, what am I here for? Why am I here? I think that we've all at some point in our lives wondered those questions, and I've asked those questions, what am I here for? What is my purpose? We're looking today at the story of Esther, and Esther was a young lady that had lost her parents, and so she was taken in by her uncle Mordecai. And at this time in their lives, the king had gotten aggravated with the queen, so he decided that he wanted to bring in young ladies to become a new queen, and Esther was one of these young ladies. And so Esther, they did all the pampering and all of, the rituals that they do. And there was, a house that they all stayed in, and Mordecai, being her caregiver, he would walk by this house and check on her every day, making sure she was okay. And through this process, the king loved Esther above all of the other women, and it said that she obtained grace and favor. And as Mordecai would come and check on her, walk by this house every day, in doing that, he overhears a plot that was being devised by one of the king's men. And that plot was to kill the Jews. And the Jews were Esther's people. That's what she was. And she had not revealed that yet to the king or to anyone else. And so we pick up the story in Esther chapter 4, verses 7 through 14. And it says, "And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. Also he gave him a copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king, and to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him and for her people. And Hatach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again Esther spake unto Hatach, and gave his commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever man or woman shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, Think not with thyself and that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed, and who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" So, Mordecai warns Esther. He tells her what's going to happen, and he tells her that she needs to go before the king and to let him know what's happening. And she's not real sure that that's a good idea, because if you go before the king and you're not called, you could be killed. So she would be putting herself at risk to go before the king without being called. But she would also be putting herself at risk if she doesn't, because whether it's her that carries this out and takes this to the king, God's people are going to be delivered with or without her. So Mordecai tells her that, and he tells her, who knows that if you were born for such a time as this. So Esther did go to the king, and the plot was stopped. So what are you here for? Is there something that God has placed on your heart to do? Is there something that you've been thinking about, or a place that you've thought about serving that you keep putting it off. Don't put it off. Don't push it aside. Lean into it. You know, ask God what it is that He would have you to do. Ask Him for clarity in your decisions, in your choices. You're here for a reason. You were made with a purpose, for a purpose, on purpose. So just like Esther, God's plans are going to come to pass, whether it's with you or without you. You were born for a reason, and you are placed where you are right now in this time for a reason. He's got you where He wants you. It's up to you to ask Him the hard questions. You know, what am I here for? What is it that you would have me to do? Where would you have me to serve? You were made for such a time as this. So, until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks, guys.